Hello everyone. In my previous video, we have discussed about how the internet is working behind the scene and what are the communication protocol it has used and all. Now, I'm going to discuss about another topic that is REST versus graph query language versus gRPC. This is how the software systems internally communicate with each other. We can consider it as three different ways of communication or three different style of communication between the client and server. Let's go ahead and see what is the difference between these three communication styles or communication protocols internally, what is happening, what are the payload difference between them, and what are the advantages and disadvantages using them, and where we can use which protocol. Let's go ahead and see what are they. The REST API or REST code, these are representational state transfer, is being used since early 2000 by many companies are nowadays using this one. The resources are URLs, operations are HTTP verbs. And the de facto standard for web API since early 2000. Advantage universally supported, great caching for the HTTP, and simple and mature. What are the cons? It's there is over and under fetching. I will discuss what is the over and under fetching later. Multiple round trips are required for completing one transaction, and no real time is available. Graph query language, it's called it is developed by Meta in 2012 and they have released to open source in 2015. It's a query language for APIs. The client specify exactly what they require from the database or from the backend data. What are the pros and cons? Pros are precise data fetching, a single endpoint, and self-documenting. Cons are it's a complex caching mechanism, n plus one queries, and or for the simple request. gRPC is called the Google Remote Procedure Call developed by Google. Uses protocol buffers or protobuf, that is a binary format. This is extremely fast for service communication like microservice architecture and all. Pros are fastest throughput, bidirectional streams, and strong typing. Whereas the cons, if you see, no browser, it is not browser native. Binary is very hard to troubleshoot or bug fix or debug, and proto schema is a overhead. If you see the architecture pattern, for the rest, we have separate endpoint for each and every resources. If it is a if we want to get the user with the user ID 42, you have to give this one get user 42. If we need to give only the post, then we need to go granular level deep inside and request for the post. If we need to give the details of the followers, then you need to do like give like this. That means each and every request or endpoint is a separate resource. Whereas it comes to graph query language, here if you see multiple endpoint, three round trips are needed. Each URL is one response. Here in graph query language, so there is only one endpoint. It can be of any shape. We can just post the request with the ID. I just need the ID and the details of that particular post. It will give the only that request. gRPC is little bit difficult to understand. It's a binary protocol. It's called protobuf. It is using HTTP2 multiplexing. Let's go ahead and see the live demo. What is the difference between them and how many payloads each one of them are using? Let's go ahead and see live demo. Here I'm using this REST request, graph query request, and gRPC request. Let's go ahead and see how much throughput it is generating. Run all of them together. You see this, I'm requesting two details. Need two requests for user and their post for all of them. Here, I need to send one request, get the user details. It is using authorization as bearer token. After that, I need to give another request, get request for the post. Whereas here in the graph query language, I am within the same query I'm giving for the ID. I need the post also. I need the details of name, email, avatar, and I need the post limit to 3. It will in the post what are the details required. I need the title and created date. And in the gRPC protocol, this is the format of gRPC protocol what we need to get the details from the user with the user ID 42 and post limit is 3. And if you see the REST response, it has taken around 842 bytes to give the response back. It is giving all the details which is needed and wanted and unwanted. Earlier it is we heard discuss about one thing called OR fetching and under fetching. This is called the OR fetching. It is fetching all the details which is required or not required. Doesn't matter. It will fetch all the details. GraphQL language response, it is 192 bytes only. Why? Because it is fetching only the required details we have requested for. gRPC response, it's taking only 62 bytes because we are converting the communication into the binary format. So it is taking only 62 bytes. Okay. This is the payload size comparison. REST 842 bytes. It's an OR fetching. And GraphQL language 198 bytes. That's a precise fetch. And gRPC took around 62 bytes to fetch the above details. Then, if you see the comparison wise, protocol for REST, GraphQL language, and gRPC protocol. For REST and GraphQL language, they work on both HTTP 1.1 and 2, but gRPC it run only on HTTP 2. Data format, REST support JSON and XML, GraphQL language or GraphQL support only JSON, whereas gRPC it support only protobuf. It is not supporting JSON or XML. Endpoint pattern, there is multiple URL required for communication, whereas in GraphQL language only single GraphQL is required. In gRPC it's a service methods. Overfetching, it's a common overfetching and underfetching is a common problem for REST API. This is being eliminated in GraphQL language, where it is not a problem in gRPC. It's not worried about that. Real-time support in REST API, it is polling and server-side event. GraphQL language, we can go for the subscriptions. gRPC, it is bidirectional streams. Browser support, REST support all the browser. It's a native fetch. GraphQL language, it support work with the fetch. In gRPC, it support need gRPC web proxy, then only it will work. Type safety is optional for the REST API or REST. Then GraphQL language is work with the fetch, but gRPC is strongly typed one. In GraphQL language, it's a schema first. Performance, we can say REST is good. GraphQL language is good, plus query overhead is there. Whereas gRPC is very low payload. It's the fastest communication using binary. Version is we have version 1 and version 2 URLs. GraphQL language, we have schema evolution. gRPC, we have protofil numbers. And learning curve, it's low, medium, high because this is the new technology. The rest is being used for more than around 20-25 years as of now. Tooling ecosystem, here the rest tooling ecosystem is massive. GraphQL language is large. gRPC is still growing. Who used by this one? Twitter, Stripe, and GitHub still using the REST API. Most of the companies are using. Most of the software industry is using REST API. GraphQL language is used by the companies who need to know the connection between the endpoints or connection between the users and their post and all. GitHub, Spotify, Airbnb and all. gRPC is used by Google, Netflix, and Uber. Best for this REST is best for public APIs and CRUD operations. GraphQL language is best for mobile and complex user interfaces. gRPC is best for microservice architecture and internal communication. Next, see when to use which protocol. Suppose if you're using public API or third-party developer, REST protocol will be fine. It is the best option. If you're using any mobile application with variable screen size or variable bandwidth requirement and all, then definitely we need to go for the GraphQL language because it display only what is required to display. Internal microservice architecture mesh, the speed matter, then we have to think about the gRPC. Real-time collaboration now, then we need to think about graph query language because multiple users has to communicate each other. That is the graph connection between each users and their post and their communication is matter. Simple CRUD backend, that is REST API will win. High throughput data streaming, gRPC will win. So programmatic rule of thumb is start with the REST API, then as the system grows, if you need to communicate with the different mobile devices, and then we need to think about the graph query language, or if you need to consider about the creating endpoint connection between different users and their post and their connections and all, then we need to think about the graph query language. Whereas we need to add the gRPC communication for the internet service, microservice architecture, microservice communications and all. It is very fast. We need to think about the gRPC protocol. And this is all about the comparison between gRPC, REST, and graph query language. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye. See you in the next video.